Welcome, my cheesy minions. Well, I have a battle here, and this is the second battle, I think, and the final battle I'm going to post when I visited my friend, Untraceablestrain, over, what was it? I guess it was almost 2 weeks now ago. So, yeah, he's a really cool guy, and we had a bunch of battles, but not ones that we were going to save. But this one is a PU match, which is a tier that he hasn't really ever tried. So I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and try this out. And once again, just going to try to use mons I haven't used anymore, or really that much. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So we're both bringing some interesting things. He's actually bringing some things I'm like, wait, I had to double check to see if they were PU. I'm like, oh crap. I'm like, Primeape. I'm like, oh my god. I use that thing as high as RU sometimes because it's just so good. But, oh well, it is PU, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the Skuntank. He's going to go ahead and leave with that Primeape. And I'm pretty sure I could take a hit from this guy. I believe I just try to, what do I do? Do I try to just go for the attacking move? No, I go for a play rough. Yes, I do go for the attacking move. Unfortunately, it's resisted by the wheezing. I was hoping that he wouldn't think I had play rough, but pretty good play by him going out into his wheezing. So I'm just going to go for a taunt, because that's going to stop pretty much most things that Weezing wants to do to me, like this Will-O-Wisp, which was more or less obvious because, you know, Will-O-Wisp is strong against switches too, so just wanted to make sure he can't do anything that he wants to do, and I decided to go for the Crunch. I figure it's, you know, stabbed, and I'm hoping to do a little more than that. But obviously this is a physically defensive Weezing, but I was still kind of hoping for the defense drop. You know, I want to take advantage of the fact that he would be forced to attack me, and if he does only have a poison move, I resist that. He does not resist Crunch, obviously, so I'm just going to be like, I think this advantages me, but that Sludge Bomb is actually doing about the same amount of damage as my Crunch is, because my Skuntank is a little more defensively invested. So, yeah. And now his Taunt wore off, so that's just great. I'm just going to go for the Taunt again. He's just going to go into his Regirock, which, you know, I'll take the Taunt against that, because it probably has Stealth Rock or something. So, at least he can't do that, or he can't Curse Up or anything. So pretty much Regirock is forced to attack me, and Regirock isn't actually known for its offenses, so feel pretty good about just going into Sand Slash, knowing that I should take an Earthquake okay, and I also resist Rock, so if his only move is Stone Edge, I get the resistance on that. He does have Earthquake, and it still does nothing because my Sand Slash is physically defensive, and this is what I actually brought to set up Stealth Rocks of my own. I know he can't because he is, taunted. So I'm going to go ahead and set up Stealth Rocks. He's going to make a pretty good play and go out into Weezing, knowing that now he's going to get that Will-O-Wisp on something. And pretty much my entire team doesn't really want to take the Will-O-Wisp. I mean, we do have a few special Pokemon, but none that really want to take residual damage like that. So I know that something pretty much has to take the burn, and I decide, I believe, to switch back out into... Oh, sorry, no, I go into my Behem, which is my special attacker. So this is the thing that I wouldn't mind the burn on most. Instead, he just goes for the layer of Toxic Spikes, which at the time I was kind of confused about. And I didn't know why he went for them, considering he knows for a fact I have a Poison type, so I can literally just switch in to my Skuntank to get rid of them. It's not really a big deal. This is actually a Specs Behem, and this is a Pokemon I don't think I've ever used in a Wi-Fi battle, but I just had it sitting around. It has a ton of special attack, but it's really slow, so that's kind of its gig. And he switched. In comes his Nightmare thing, which is this, Trevenant, which is another Pokemon that I kind of have a hard time believing it's PU because it's just so annoying. It screws up so many things. And pretty much what it does is it abuses Harvest, its ability, with also status moves like Will-O-Wisp and, Leech Sheet. So he does have the substitute, not uncommon for that thing, and now he's going to go ahead and try to set up the Will-O-Wisp. I figured that my Skuntank might still be a decent matchup. It depends if my Crunch can still break his subs. So I'm like, well, Skuntank, maybe a super effective and stabbed Crunch can still do damage. It ends up doing, I don't even know, it could be 25%. It's pretty close, as obviously he does get a Citrus Berry and is now going to set up the Leech Seed on me. So this is going to allow him to pretty much stall me for a while, because even if I do get off another Crunch, he's going to be able to set up a sub again with the amount of HP he has left, and just keep eating HP due to the Leech Seed recovery and his leftovers. Well, not leftovers. He doesn't have leftovers. He has the Citrus Berry, which Harvest does give him a chance every turn to return the Citrus Berry to him, which is kind of broken. Now, the only way I think I have around this guy is my Articuno, and this is actually a sub Articuno, this is a sub Articuno with Life Orb. It's actually a pretty cool set. I like this Articuno, and I'm like, okay, very least I know that this thing can match up well against it. So I'm just going to go for the sub. I know that he's probably going to go for the Leech Seed or the, Will-O-Wisp. Probably the Leech Seed, and indeed he does, so that's pretty damn safe for me. He does have a free turn here, but if he can't break my sub, and I'm hoping he can't with maybe his one attacking move, I just want to break his sub first of all, and I am faster too, so he's not like he can set up another sub next turn. It's going to be able to force a switch, and this is pretty much my only Pokemon that I brought along that can really match up well against this Trevenant, so I really have to make sure I don't lose it. Either way, he's going to go on a Regirock again. I believe I just go for the attacking move. I knew that he would be pretty much forced switch out, and I didn't want to take, extra substitute damage, but I did want to damage something on the switch. I was hoping that this might be a 2-hit KO on the Regirock, but unfortunately it is not, I don't think, so I don't want to risk it either way. Like I said, losing Articuno is a must-not, and now I'm going to go into Sandslash as he goes for that Stealth Rock, which is going to hurt Articuno's chances of being able to switch back in because I'd be in red HP if I do. I do have Rapid Spin on my Sandslash, but I'm really afraid here that he's going to switch into his Trevenant or another Ghost, and indeed he does switch out into his other Ghost type. He brought two of them, interestingly. He goes down to his Sableye. I actually predict the switch into... and the reason I hard switched here in Articuno, which might seem stupid because obviously the rocks are up, but I predicted a switch into Trevenant, and I just knew that I needed to go get back into Articuno to, counter that. Anyway, just going to go for the Roost. He goes for the Foul Play trying to kill me, so that's advantage me. I get Articuno back to yellow HP, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't know what else he could really do. Obviously, he can't kill me with anything with Trickster, because obviously Trickster only doesn't work on non-attacking moves. And he goes for the Confuse Ray, which I'm like, okay, Confuse Ray was nerfed, so I should be fine. I'm just going to keep trying to go for the Roost to get my Articuno healthy again. And of course, he gets the Confusion hit. So I'm like, all right, that sucks. Let's just keep going for it. I don't think this Sableye can really damage me otherwise. He just go for the Will-O-Wisp, so now I have a little bit of residual damage, which is kind of annoying because I have Life Orb on it too. And then I hurt myself again in my Confusion. I'm like, come on. This Confusion was nerfed in Gen 7, or wasn't it? It's supposed to be only a 1/3 chance now. I'm pretty much committed to this point. I need to get that Roost off. I'm like, okay, Confusion might wear down, right? It's only 1/3 chance. I hit myself again. But I do. And I was so mad. You have no idea how mad I was, because I knew I couldn't lose this Articuno in fear of his Trevenant, but there was really nothing I could do. I needed to get its HP above 50% because it's not easy to Rapid Spin, with, he has two Ghost types. So I knew I needed to get his HP back, and I feel pretty darn cheated right there. I'm not gonna lie, my friends. What are the odds of, I think it's like... It's crazy. It's what are the odds of 3 Confusion hits in Gen 7? It's just... Okay, I'm pretty livid at this point. Anyway, so Skuntank comes out, and I do that because this Sableye's only weakness is Fairy, and this is the only thing I have with a Fairy move. I don't really know how much damage I can do, considering my burn, so I'm just going to go for it anyway, and it does some pretty irrelevant damage. But yeah. Still kind of mad, but I'm thinking that I still might be able to play around. That Trevenant, though, I really have nothing for it, and that makes me mad. So, yeah, I know, I've been going on about that, but anyway, this guy does indeed have Recover, which I kind of assumed he did, but I really just don't have anything to do now to this guy. And Skuntank is getting kind of useless. I'm kind of trying to sack it here. I go for the Taunt, which is really what I should have done in the first place. I should have taunted. That was a mistake on my part. I should have taunted as soon as I came out against the Sableye to stop a potential recover. But instead I decided to go right for the attacking right off the bat, and I don't even know why. But now he's going to Foul Play, and that's going to do more damage than I would like. And yeah, I'm just going to keep going for the Foul Play. Sorry, not the Foul Play, the Play Rough. And I could have left this thing probably a little bit weaker if I had taunted right off the bat or forced it to switch, but whatever. I do get the Aftermath, which unfortunately is not quite enough to get rid of the Sableye, but it is pretty low at this point. And I'm going to go to my Perugly, which is a Pokemon that's actually really useless against him. I was actually kind of excited to use Perugly, because I never use it. But when his team contains 2 Ghosts and a Rock type, it's not really... I'm not going to be able to really abuse its pretty powerful stabbed normal moves, because all of its Pokemon seem to resist / are immune to it. So I'm just going to go for the U-turn as he goes out into Regirock, and I'm just going to go into Sandslash. Unfortunately, you know, he has a really, really good switch in for my Sandslash, which takes care of pretty much everything I want to do except for this knockoff. I mean, if I can't go for the Earthquake and I can't go for the Rapid Spin, he ends up just staying in, which I wasn't expecting, which is fine. I'll get this Regirock's item off. But at this point for him, it's pretty darn safe. You know, it's like it's pretty darn safe to just switch out into Trevenant because you know even if I knock something off, he can get it back with Harvest anyway. I'm just gonna go to my Gurgeist, and I have no idea what is up with my Gurgeist set. It's in fact it's exactly a Trevenant set, and I don't know why because Gurgeist doesn't get Harvest. Like I have a Citrus Berry and everything on it. I think this was probably a mistake, and should have had leftovers, and I just kind of derped and gave it a Citrus Berry, thinking that I was looking at a Trevenant. But whatever. I'm able to get the status there. But unfortunately, I match up really, really badly against my fellow Grass Ghost Pokemon. Which I actually kind of... The reason I put Gurgeist in this team, in fact, was because I thought... I didn't even bother to check, because I didn't have my computer on me at the time. We were battling in person. I'm like, I bet Trevenant is PU, so I'm going to use Gurgeist. But it's not. So it would have been interesting, because had I known if Trevenant was PU, I would have probably brought it myself instead of this Gurgeist. But... I'm like, let's use something new, and it's like Halloween and stuff. Well, okay, Halloween was like 3 weeks ago, but it was relatively close to Halloween when we went down to the Cayman, so I don't know. But that was my thought process. Unfortunately, because I don't have... And my one attacking move is Shadow Sneak, and because I don't have Harvest, this is pretty much a losing matchup for me because he can pretty... His healing, obviously, with Harvest is pretty strong, and even though we burned each other... He can still do enough damage with that Shadow Claw that he's going to win this matchup, obviously, because eventually he is going to get another Harvest. And for the longest time, actually, I believe in this sequence, he wasn't getting Harvest, and I think Harvest is like 1 in 3, isn't it? So it's pretty lucky for me that he wasn't. But this is just advantage him. There's nothing really I can do. I just want to wear down. In fact, the only thing I'm trying to do here is trying to wear down this Trevenant. I want it to... not have HP. Like, I want to wear it down. I'm hoping that I get lucky with the Harvest and he doesn't get it. So maybe after I can kill this sub, which it's going to take 3, hits to kill this sub, I think, with Shadow Sneak at this point. Maybe I can, come in and revenge kill. But no, he gets the Harvest there, so now he's back to half, and I just have to hope that he doesn't get it again. And I'm able to break the sub this turn. I was kind of worried that he might actually predict that and go for another sub, because one of the other things I want is, I don't want him to have his sub up. But unfortunately, he's not able to actually kill me. If he would have killed me here, I would have been happier, because that would have let me come in on him when he didn't have a sub. And unfortunately, he gets another Harvest here, so now he's back into green health, and he's just going to take that free substitute, and there's nothing really I can do. I just go for a Pain Split. I don't even know why. I think it's because I'm like, well, does Pain Split go through freaking substitute? I don't know. Let's try for it. It's not like I have a lot to lose at this point. It's not like the extra damage with Shadow Sneak was going to make a huge difference. But, yeah, I'm just going to go for it now, and I'm like, okay, I'm dead. Unless I get, like, a crit Shadow Sneak, Maybe that would break the sub. Either way, Gurgeist is dead now, so that sequence is finished, much to your probably satisfaction, because it was really lame. But, yes, and, rub salt in the wound. He gets Harvest this turn, too, so I die. He's back up to... above half HP, and yeah, he has his sub, and I'm just going to go to Purugly and really have nothing to do. I believe this is like a Silk Scarf Purugly, so it's really kind of banking on its normal moves, because I have like Fake Out and Return, which I'm hoping, hit really hard with this Purugly, but it just doesn't, because, yeah, it just does nothing as his team. But anyway, he's going to go ahead and Will-O-Wisp. I switch into my U-turn into my Behem, which is able to get rid of the sub, thankfully. And I'm like, well, this guy's really slow, too. I don't know who's slower, but I have no real choice at the moment, but not just, except just to go for my strongest move and pray. So I believe I just go for a Psychic, a Spec Psychic, and he goes out into his Sableye, which is a Dark type. So he's probably predicting that, but he can't survive the Stealth Rocks. I don't know if he knew that or not. He might have just been sacking it. I knew that Sableye was probably going to die to the rock, so I felt there was no real downside to going for Psychic. It was a good move just to scout what I would do. He goes into Primeape now, and unfortunately this thing... we already know it carries U-turn, and that's going to do way too much of my Behem. So I'm like, well, I have to save it, because it's like my one chance at this point is that Behem, doing work. So and stopping his freaking ghosts, Trevenant. So I just go onto my Sand Slash, knowing he's going to almost certainly U-turn. And then comes Gastrodon, a Pokemon he hasn't seen yet, or I haven't seen yet. And like I said, I can't really afford to take extra damage from Behem because it does... Behem? I don't know. Because I just don't want to take extra damage on it. I actually do. I go into my Perugly. That's what I do. Because I'm like, well, Perugly can actually do some normal damage against this if I don't get burned on the Scald, but I do, of course. And that's pretty much stacking my Perugly at this point. And that's fine, because my Perugly is literally useless, as I've been saying. It can't even do that much against this Gastrodon, even if he didn't get the burn. Because of how much... this is clearly physically defensive Gastrodon. So, yeah. My Fake Out does less than nothing, and I'm just going to go for a return. He's just going to wisely go for the recover, though. So, just to negate any possible damage. He knows that the worst thing I can do to him is try to wither him down a little bit, and I probably can't do half, so it's pretty much a free recover. And just to make sure he's at full HP against my next thing. So I'm going to go back into Behem. I believe this thing can actually carry Energy Ball. Mine does not. I actually have Trick on it. So it's not 4 attacks. It's and I don't have the Energy Ball. He's going to predict that I do have the Energy Ball and go out into his, tree thing, his Trevenant. And I just go for a Psychic. It's my strongest move. It's stabbed and stuff, and I'm Specs. I'm like, well, hopefully I can 2-hit KO that Gastrodon. And I do take out the Trevenant, so I'm happy that I was able to take it out. Unfortunately, I have nothing... Well, I believe I go out into, I have to go back into Sand Slash to save my Behem from a U-turn, but unfortunately, best case scenario here, now he's going to just U-turn out into his Gastrodon, and I have 2 choices. I can either go right out into my Behem and try to bluff, the Energy Ball again, because I'm pretty sure I can't win a KO with Psychic, or just stay in and die and then have to do it anyway, so... I'm like, I don't think he can kill me with Scald on Behem, and I'm pretty sure I can outspeed the Gastrodon, because Gastrodon is one of the slowest things ever. So, yeah, I'm just kind of hoping that he falls to the bait again, which he probably won't, because I already didn't go for Energy Ball once. So I'm like, alright, well, let's just give it a shot. He does for the Scald. It does not kill me, but I'm down to red HP, and I'm like, well, I have to click Psychic. Maybe I can crit or something. No, he's not going to switch out. So, well played by him. It does actually a little more than half against Gastrodon, so it would have been a 2-hit KO, but obviously now it's I just lose because I lose Behem, and while Sand Slash would be able to, I believe, match up against Primate pretty well due to my being a physical wall, I might even be like a single close combat with this thing. I am not going to be able to deal enough damage to this Gastrodon to kill it, and obviously he can kill me with a super effective stabbed Scarf. So, good game there, Untraceablestrain. Still kind of mad about that freaking Articuno confusion sequence. And I will never forgive you. So, good game. Just kidding. He's a really cool guy. One of my favorite fans, and that's all that needs to be said about him. Now, obviously, Ultra Moon has come out. I am playing through it as we speak. I'm going to probably figure out how to best transfer my Pokemon over and trend some new ones. Like I said, I'm hoping by the end of the month I should start posting in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. In the meantime, I'm going to try to get some more battles in Sun and Moon, because this is actually the last one I had saved up. So if you want to get a battle against me, go to the Discord, because I might be looking for some. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. And today's question of the day is, you know what, how far are you in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon if you are playing? As for me, I believe I'm almost on the 2nd island. So, obviously, I haven't beaten the game yet. I'm sure a lot of you have, and a lot of other people have. But I'm taking my time because I, have a life. I have a wife, kids. Just don't have all the time to play all day. And, of course, the 2-hour tutorial made it super boring, too. But leave a comment about that, and see you guys again next time. Later.